How will the impact of Deommodore Lenoir impact the 49ers this year? His arrest, how will it impact the San Francisco 49ers this year? Will it have a big impact, little impact? I tell you what, we're going to talk about it right here on the Wayne Breezie Show. Smash that like button. We are back, baby. What's going on, faithful? It's your boy, the Wayne Breezie, back for another Wayne Breezie Show. We are here. It is Monday. It is June 30th, the last day for the month of June. My has June flown by. Shout out to you guys tuning in to the live show. I know 49ers content is pretty dull, but you aren't, and I truly appreciate you guys for tuning in. So, foghorn to all the faithful that's joining. I see some of the Breezy Bunch crew in here already, so I definitely want to send them a shout out and give them the ear horns. But thank you so much for tuning in to the Wayne Breezie Show. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about Deommodore Lenoir and the latest news on Deommodore Lenoir, the story that was reported by TMZ this past weekend. We're going to talk about how it may affect the 49ers. It may not have an effect at all. But we will get to that. So again, don't forget to smash the like button. If this is your first time watching, please go ahead, click on that subscribe button. All right, that's super important. Subscribe to the channel, man. Listen, I got cool stuff coming out. I know I've been working on some other endeavors, but the Wayne Breezie channel is still in full effect, and we got those cool training camp dates to talk about that are going to be coming up very shortly. It's funny because they just went on hiatus. I felt like a day ago, and they've been on hiatus for almost 14 days, 15 days. So 16 days till training camp kicks off. So we'll talk a little bit about that. If you're following me, make sure you guys are following me on everywhere, Facebook, YouTube. You know it, man. Go ahead and give me a follow. All right. It's all right there on the bottom of the show. And again, I appreciate you guys. If you guys want to support to the stream, boom, there's the Cash App. Boom, there's the PayPal as well. Or you could just use the platform right here on YouTube if you want to super chat or anything like that. Or become a member. Become a member today of the Breezy Bunch crew, the Wayne Breezie channel. So you guys could do that. I do want to send a hell of a shout out to everybody that's listening and engaging on the Spotify platform. I'm an Apple guy. I need Apple to step up their podcasting platform. They need to get with the game because Spotify is killing it right now. So shout out to you if you're one of them. I appreciate you over there. And don't forget to check out our partners over at residency.com. We are still partnered with them. You can still use that promo code SFBreezy and save on your total purchase. So you go to their website, www.residency.com. Use the promo code. Get one of these cool hats. They got new designs they got coming out. They got crazy sales going on as well. But just use that promo code and you'll save on your total purchase. All my Patreon members, appreciate you guys. New content will be coming very shortly for everybody that's been members of the Patreon. So don't forget to take advantage of what's going on over there as well. Patreon.com/@TheWayneBreezie. All right. And if you want to support me on the channel, go to www.twben.com/shop and you can get the cool merch. All right, cool merch. All right, let's get to it. I got the chat popping up here on the screen, so that way I'm looking at the screen. I see Jacqueline Knox in the building, a Breezy Bunch crew member, supporter for a long ass time. All right, just wanted to show her some love. All right, don't bother me in the building. What's going on? Jack says hello. Wayne Faithful, hope everyone is doing well. Have a great show. Like, comment, subscribe. Demo is going to wreak havoc in 2025. I like that name, Havoc, too. One of my favorite comic book characters. Demo, next time, just follow their commands. Right? That's it. That's all it took. That's all it took. Don't bother me in the building as well. Matthew in the building. Missed you all. Missed you as well, bro. Throwback. What's good, baby? JP Hella Hard, what's going on? My man Colin in the building. All the Breezy Bunch crew members, you guys, your support goes a long freaking way. But listen, football will be back very shortly. And for those that aren't members, shout out to you too. Appreciate you for tuning in. If you want that member shout out, though, which you get exclusively at the beginning, middle, and the end of the show, go ahead and become a member of the crew. That's how you do it right there, right? You know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure I take care of those that are members. But Thinking of the 49ers, not much really going on with the San Francisco 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, the drama, for those that feel like there's drama out there, I feel like the drama continues. Let's talk about Brandon Ayuk posting, him enjoying life. I felt like that got no love. It got no love. Him enjoying life. He's on a trip. He's out there flexing, about to take a dip in the pool. Nothing negative to say about it, so I guess it really wasn't put out there. Shout out to those that did put it out there. You know who you are. But Brandon Ayuk out there just enjoying life and rehabbing and ready to kick, the NFL and the Nards, okay? Ready to kick it back in the Nards, right? Because he got a long hill to climb and come back. But I just got a good feeling about Brandon Ayuk. I feel like the Niners, Brandon Ayuk, they're on the same page. I feel like right now, when I think of my man BA, I don't know when. Let me just ask you this hypothetical question. Or let me ask you a question. When you get bored, like what do you do to kind of pass the time? I feel like BA is going to be at camp. He's going to be there, but he can't partake in any of the stuff. Man, that's got to suck, right? So he's got to find other ways to intertwine. And so, man, maybe he's just about that entertainment life. I don't know. Maybe maybe give Brandon Ayuk a podcast. No more podcasts for players. No more podcasts. Let the players play and do other stuff, but leave the podcasting to the podcasters, please. No more podcasts for the players. I'm definitely against that. I don't get much from you guys other than the fact that you guys are football players, and entertainment-wise, you guys suck. So, Deebo Samuel's podcast was terrible. I don't know how we watched it, and I'm not saying that because he's no longer a 49er. I could not watch that podcast. Like, no matter how much I tried, I know I'm with Bleacher Report. I tried support. It was terrible. But I just feel like the players, especially the Niners players, they should have their mindset on one goal only. You know what? That goal isn't even to get to the Super Bowl and win it. I feel like the goal for the San Francisco 49ers in 2025 is figuring out how to find a way to stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what's important. Thank you for the birthday shout out. 49ers _ throwback to my son. That's right. My son just turned 8 years old. Appreciate the shout out. Air horns for you. I see some questions out there. Don't forget to get your questions popping. Tanisha's in the building. What's going on, sis? It's good to see you. Good to see you. Good to hear from you as well. It's also good to be back. You know what I mean? All right, here's a question. I can't bypass this, right? Like, we're talking about anything that's 49ers related. So my brother Don't Bother Me put out there, all right? He said, did T.O. truly say Deebo is 2 nuggets away? Now, that was what that's what I read. It's what I read that, and you know what? It's tough to clap back at a player. How old is T.O.? He's in his 50s. Is he in his 50s now? I don't know if he's 50, but it's hard to clap back at a player like T.O. for 2 reasons, right? Number one, he was damn near the second best receiver the San Francisco 49ers have ever seen, right? Like, it's Jerry Rice, T.O., in my opinion. Receivers, too. Like, Jerry Rice, T.O. means second in yards and stuff like that. So, boom, right? But then the cat is in probably the best physical shape I've seen a person in my life. Like, at whatever age he is, I still feel like he could run a 4.4, 4.5, and I don't think you lose catching ability. Now, his knees might be a little bit different at the elderly age of whatever he is, but, look, if this guy says that Deebo Samuel is 2 nuggets away and talking about his physical shape and stuff like that, hey, man, Deebo, only thing I can say about Deebo is go out there and freaking just prove the doubters, the naysayers, or whatever like that. It's tough, man. Look, they are going to come at Deebo, but that's just who he is. That's just who he is. Now, my brother Matthew says, I agree, no more players doing podcasts. I believe it's a distraction for him. And that's the main thing. I get that they're trying to build their brands and capitalize off their fans and stuff like that. I get it, but they're they just suck. If they had any like it factor as far as being an entertainment type of purpose, cool. But they're not even great at information. Like they're not even great at reporting stats. Like every podcaster has a different niche, even though we're talking about the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a stats guy, right? I could talk about stats, but I'm not a statistician or whatever the word is, right? I'm not a salary cap person. I'm just fun, entertainment. I know my Niners, So I agree, man. Like, look, no more players, stuff like that. Now I gotta shout out Robert Dart. Listen, but this is my brother right here. You're not a member, but you're my brother from another mother because I didn't think anybody was gonna get this reference when I said the word nards. And when I tell you, you guys are socially connected, we are socially inept. It is not funny. Like we have a bond like none other. I could talk about stuff from the 80s because that's when I was born, stuff from the 90s. And when I say little things, I don't think people will be knowing where I'm going with it. But this is exactly where I was going when I said kick this season in the nards. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was going to say that, but you said it for me. Jay Witt over on Facebook. Shout out to everybody watching live on Facebook too, man. That is dope, Always something with our team before the new season, getting to the point where I don't even want to watch football these days. So I tell you what, yes, I agree, but don't quit on watching the game. I mean, that if that's what you love about the sport, watching the game, watching those men go out there, play like gladiators Sunday, week in, week out, because sometimes on Thursday, sometimes on Monday. Like, continue to do it. My only suggestion for you would be to just, when the season's over and when you feel like you can't take anymore, just cut everything else off, right? If it ain't about football, cut it off. Like, if it's not about the game, the sport, cut off. That would be my only suggestion. Like, even I have taken a big fallback, like breaks, because I was being overloaded, and then the information that was put out there wasn't necessarily football. It was more about personal this, personal that, and I just was just like, man, we're attacking people's characters. We're attacking people's personal. No, that's not football. That's not football. And then we're sitting there categorizing like this player isn't good for the team because they said this on social media. Like I've even have to find a way to kind of like switch the channel a little bit. And I did. I'm doing Breezie Eats, right? I'm doing food reviews now, so you can follow me over there at Breezie Eats. The YouTube channel has not been created yet, but it will be at some point. I like these comments. Jack says 1980 best year ever. 81 it is. It's always 81. You know what I mean? It's always 81. All right, so let's get to some of these cool dates. We'll talk a little bit about Demo, what happened, and then we'll talk about how it may impact the San Francisco 49ers moving forward. All right, so we got the key off-season dates. Training camp is underway. And today is June 30th. Help me with my math. Tomorrow will be July 1st, so that would be 14. So we're 16 days. I couldn't do math real quick, right? I think we're 16 days away from 49ers training camp. Can we give that a round of applause? We can finally get back to some damn football. 49er football at that. I mean, at this point, I'll take NFL. We got NFL news, man. You can follow my TWBEN sports page. I try to cover breaking news and updates for the NFL over there as well. And, you got the big trade that's going down today, right? So no Jalen Ramsey to the Niners. He's going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, but they traded Minkah Fitzpatrick. That is crazy, right? So, look, a lot of stuff's going down now. I still think the 49ers at some point, I think they enter camp as is, and I think they finish camp maybe with a new addition or two. That's just my opinion. And I'm hoping they go after the safety, Justin Simmons. I think it's time to add that type of veteran presence to the young room. Depending on this, it all depends on the development and what they see from the young players and the guys that they already brought in at the safety spot. But I still feel like that may just be the weakest link on the defensive side of football. I think on the offensive side of football, I guess we can stick with the offensive line being the weakest link, but I don't think it's as weak as we think, right? So again, rookies report July 15th, veterans report July 22nd. August 7th is Dwight Clark Day for everybody that's going to be attending. Now, I do know there's going to be some camp days that are going to be officially out there and to where everybody can attend, like the fans and stuff like that. So get your tickets. You know what I'm saying? Get your tickets, get your tickets, get your tickets. All right, Tanisha says, our team is always the focal point of the NFL. You're right. The 49ers are always, and I repeat, always center of attention. It does not matter. They just find a way to remain center of attention when it comes to the NFL. And that's just who we are. Like we remain, and you know why? Because I think the historical presence on who we are, I think just for like my version of the fans, like my era, I guess, I didn't get a chance to enjoy a lot of the glory days of the Niners because I was young. So the 80s, for those that got to really live the 80s out and just be dominant, congratulations. I'm a 90s, so I was born in the 80s, but I'm more of a 90s baby. So, like, it was just one, right? And so, like, not that I didn't see the 80s Super Bowls, but the one that I really remember, like, is the 1994 one. So, like, that was it. Now, we've been to the Super Bowl since then, and we just couldn't win, right? We couldn't win with Harbaugh, couldn't win twice with Kyle Shanahan. And I was talking to a Patriots fan the other day, and it was funny because, they didn't make fun of us because their team sucks, but man, they're so much more relevant as to winning a championship, And I think my thing was this: we just need somebody to take out the Chiefs. That's it. I think for the 49ers, you just need somebody to take out the Chiefs. I feel like that team is the one team the San Francisco 49ers can't beat. As long as they got Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, we just can't beat them. We can't finish. Well, yeah, beat them. That's what it is. Look, if we played the Chiefs this year, I would have marked it as an L until I seen it. You got to prove it to me. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be proven to me. All right. Shout out to Nisha's birthday is going to be August 7th, which is Dwight Clark Day. So we'll be celebrating her birthday on Dwight Clark's day. So we'll be definitely representing you. We got a lot of birthdays coming up, like, July birthdays, Peachy's birthdays coming up. We got then got the August birthdays. You got September birthdays, Jack Knox birthdays in September. So we got a lot of birthdays coming up that we're going to get to celebrate right here live on the Wayne Breezie Show. All right. Now, let's get to this Deommodore Lenoir. A lot of people are like, well, what happened? I see a question out there. Definitely want to address the question. My man, N.M. Lobo, 1948. Is Demo charge a misdemeanor? Now, I don't have any of the details of it being. It's not a felony, right? So yeah, like we're gonna go with misdemeanor. So there won't be any jail time, but there's gonna be some type of something to what he's going to have to do. Now, his court date has not been set, but then he will have to probably attend court, and we'll see what happens from there. But what happened? All right, so over this past weekend, Deommodore Lenoir was arrested, and he was released on Friday, which was last Friday. So he was released on last Friday, and what ended up happening, well, the story that was reported by TMZ, Sports, and you can look up Matt Mioko's assessment or David Lombardi. You can look up all those. You can look up, I didn't really assess it. I just reported the news because that's what happened. Basically, there was a situation where Deommodore Lenoir just didn't comply with the police. If I just sum everything up, that's kind of like what it was. He didn't comply with the orders of the police. Okay. So the situation was reportedly, okay, that Demo and his friend were like illegally parked and blocking traffic and whatever, right? And so I guess it's kind of like a breach of peace sort of kind of situation. And I'm not a cop, not a lawyer, but I had a couple of breach of peace charges for myself in my lifetime. So I feel like this was kind of like one of those situations where, just a breach of peace, right? Something misdemeanor, nothing serious. But anyway, the story is that apparently the friend's car had a weapon in it, gun. And I guess when somebody reported that to the police, so when the police got there, they asked the friend, blah, 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 blah. The friend tossed his car keys to Deommodore Lenoir. It's like they were playing hot potato with the car keys, okay? So when they asked Deommodore Lenoir for the car keys, he just didn't comply with the police, didn't want to give over the car keys. The peace officer decided to put him under arrest. All right, so Deommodore Lenoir went to jail probably for a few hours or the night, depending on when it happened, for that. Now, the 49ers are waiting for more details of the story because there's always three sides to the story. We say it's two sides, always three sides to the story. And so they're just waiting for more details. I'm not sure if the Niners are going to do anything. I do have a poll question going on, too. Let me know what you guys think. Will Deommodore Lenoir be a captain in 2025? This is the upcoming season. Will he still be deemed a captain of this football team? Not will he at least be voted for? Let me know what you guys think, and we'll go over those things toward the end of the show. All right. Now, all I'm saying is this, right? Typically, my assessment of the situation is for Deommodore Lenoir, if you get into an altercation, a conversation, or whatever it is, because like dealing with the police is tricky, right? So when you're dealing with people that are of the law, you just got to find a way to comply the best way you can, right? So like they ask you something, you answer the question. If they ask you for something, just do it. Like just comply because, I know we got rights and all that type of stuff, and we could get down into the deepness of this situation. I guess for me, I was just thinking that the situation could have went super south. Now I wasn't there, but just knowing the history of African American men and their interactions with the police, just history shows that stuff can get really bad, right? And I don't know, maybe this could have been just a police officer saying, oh, this is a famous superstar, let's go ahead and do this or whatever. Whatever the reason was, I just wish he would have, just complied. Like, I don't know. That's what that's kind of what I would have been hoping for. Anybody, you, me, you get pulled over. Even if you were wrong, just comply. Like, just all right, cool. If they have a good attitude about it, and maybe the officer will give you a warning. Yeah, maybe the officer will be like, hey, man, I know you normally don't do this. I don't see much, going on with you in your situation, but we'll give you a warning this time. Not saying that's going to happen, but usually when you comply, things don't go south. And this didn't go south. I'm glad it didn't go south. I mean, he did get arrested, but it didn't go south. So the situation was that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and look into some of the situations, I think some of the stuff out here. I see some comments out here. All right, cool. My man Oscar in the building, he says, it was a cop looking to mess with someone. I lived 5 minutes from where it happened. A lot of prostitutes in that area. They saw some black dudes and decided to see. I didn't say that this wasn't it. Doesn't matter. You could be 100% right, bro. You could be 1,000% correct. But my thing is, if an officer asks you for something or a question or whatever, just comply. Like, what's wrong with complying? I mean, I understand, like, it might hurt your ego or whatever, but I don't see what's wrong with complying. You know what I mean? We could say he was protecting his friend. That's fine. Jack says he was protecting his friend. Would you protect your friend and go to jail? When I look at the situation too, I'm like, it's more like, glad that he was protecting his friend. He didn't snitch on his friend or whatever like that. I guess that's what you want to call it. But at the end of the day, he's the one that's gonna have to deal with it in the long run. And you gotta ask yourself, is that worth it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you didn't do anything wrong. Like, So, hey man, everybody got their ways to go about it. Like, you know what I mean? You just gotta put yourself in the situation. And none of us are in that situation, thank God. But if you were in that situation, would you have took the rap for your friend? Knowing that you probably can find a way to beat it depending on the situation. Now, if this was a cop looking to mess with somebody, those are the cops that I dislike. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that you're wrong. Like, I do know that those types of police officers and law enforcement do exist. Crazy Juice says we've seen other players do much worse. For sure. I agree with that. Like, we have. Howdy says Demo made a silly mistake. No injuries or threat of injury. It's a lesson for a young man to put yourself in better situations. I think that's kind of like where I am with this. Like, and again, whatever I read is what I read. So don't charge me for what I read. Like, the story is the story. That's the story that's put out there. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's false. That's just the story in the picture that was painted, right? That's just the story that's been put out there. All right. Papa J, what's going on? He says people can be charged up to 1 year. Oh, wow. See, this is the stuff I don't know. People can be charged up to 1 year in county jail, up to $1,000 in fine, or both. Considering this is his first offense, I think he will only get probation and a fine, which is great, right? I mean, that's what we want. You know what I'm saying? We don't want him to serve any time. He's clearly out, so I don't think he's going to do any time, but he still has to go to court, which is crazy. Paul over on Facebook, it's not going to affect the team at all, even if he misses a game. There is zero need to go find another quarterback. Hey, I like that. He says it's not going to affect the team at all. Interesting, because I think, and I'm not saying that they go and find another cornerback, but it's interesting because it's like Demo, and then this question mark. Like, that's how I feel about the cornerback depth. Like, I feel like it's Demo, and then will Renardo Green trend in his second year? Will Trey Brown, coming off the injury, be that guy? Like, it's just a question mark. I'm sorry if I'm not as, for the first time, optimistic as you, Paul, about the 49ers cornerback room. It's just how I am. Like, Demo has proven year in and year out. How many touchdowns have he allowed in his career? Not a lot. Under 5. You know what I'm saying? Under 5. All right, cool. All right, so Oscar says complying in 2025 with all we know is not the move. Guarantee no charges. Okay. Look, if you choose not to comply, that's your prerogative. I feel like I'm on my Bobby Brown stuff, right? If you choose not to apply, that's your prerogative. My suggestion is to just comply and deal with everything later. Like, so I don't see how complying is negative. Make that make sense. Now, I'm not saying that you're wrong about the situation with the police officers looking for somebody. You could be 100% correct. I'm not from that area. I don't live over there. I don't know about that situation. Blah, 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 all that good stuff. Just to go along with what you said, you said cops don't know who was other than it was two black men chilling. Put yourself in a better situation. Hanging out with a friend is not a bad situation. I mean, that's not what the story said. That they said that they were hanging out and they were blocking. They were parked illegally or parked wrong or blocking traffic. They were doing something, and somebody called the police, if I'm not mistaken, about a weapon being in the car. I think that right there, now that could be fake, that could be false or whatever, but that gave the cops the suspicion to probably even come and check it out. You know what I'm saying? That, in my opinion. Rusty, what's going on, Rust? It's good to see you, baby. You know what I mean? It's really good to see you. What's going on, Big Daddy Niners? I see you out there as well. But look, at the end of the day, they happened, and he got arrested. So whether he was right or whether he was wrong, cool. that ain't what the point. I think just moving forward, my suggestion would be, if you can, put yourself in a different type of situation. Because when I look at Demo's the one that got everything to lose. His friend don't have anything to lose. Demo has everything to lose, right? And that's fine. Okay? Oh, that's what I got to say to Pew Pew. Yes. Forgot about that. But my thing is this. Like, if that's my boy and I'm a player and I got everything to lose, I feel like my boy, granted, if you get those type of officers looking for something, my boy kind of put me in a catch-22 situation. I ain't trying to give up my boy. I ain't trying to like snitch on my brother or anything like that for sure. Definitely not trying to do that. Me, I probably would have just took the rap and been like, nah, I'm not giving up the keys neither. Go ahead and arrest me or whatever. I'd probably did the same thing. But at the end of the day, like, the next scenario, I'm going to have a conversation. You carrying? Because I need to know. I can't be caught in a situation like this ever again. You know what I'm saying? So that has to be the conversation you have with all your friends, every friend. Like, can't have none of that because I got everything to lose. I got my contract. I'm on a professional football team. And why we can't give Demo this crazy pass and be mad at all the other players that get arrested for doing little stupid, silly, dumb stuff. I just feel like that's weird. Just because he's a Niner doesn't give him a pass. We talk about players on other teams all the time putting themselves in sticky situations, which might not even be their fault, but they're in the situation. And next thing you know, a lot of those players get kicked out of the league. They get suspended. They don't come back the same. I just want to make sure Demo is straight. That's it at the end of the day. Not because I'm being selfish. Personally, I want to make sure he's good here because all I care about is the kid's livelihood and making sure he's good. And I'm sure he is. Demo's got more money than I do. But at the end of the day, it's more like, all right, bro, you got to somehow be the youngest grown adult you can ever be and just put yourself in a different situation knowing how it is out here today. So those would be my words of wisdom for Deommodore Lenoir. Those would just be my words of wisdom. You know what I'm saying? So again, look, you guys can have y'all takes on it. Me personally, I just feel like I'd rather not had him in that situation because then it did bring some type of negative connotation to the team. Most of the fan base bypassed it, act like it didn't happen. But that's just our fan base. Other people was like, oh, he's a criminal. Oh, he's that, which we know he's not, like, at the end of the day. But it is what it is. Matthew says, keep their asses home and just focus on football. That's the bomb drop right there. Shout out to Matthew, one of the members of the Breezy Bunch crew. And Oscar, look, I'm not going to go back and forth with you, bro. I feel like you're right. But at the end of the day, he got arrested. Even if you're right, he got arrested. And it doesn't make you wrong. At the end of the day, he's in that situation and he ended up getting arrested. So it's a deeper situation than what we see. We do know we just know how it is in today's terms. It's always been like that though. It's never not been the way it is. You go back to history, the police officers and people of color, it's been rough. It's been rough. Was it supposed to be changed? It's supposed to change? Nah, it's not going to change. Some of the things may change, but it's not going to change. Dome in the building. Haven't seen my brother in a long time. Says caught up. Got me feeling that caught up. And we're not talking to Usher caught up, right? We're not talking to Usher. You know why? You know why I have You know why? I don't even know if I could talk about this. But let's just say I've been in a situation with a friend, with a couple of friends, and we all got arrested. We all got put in handcuffs because I was by association with some friends that were in a situation where it just didn't go right. Right? Now, like I talk about the situation, I'm just saying, like, right? So in just me being in the vehicle, like I got arrested. Now, I didn't get brought down to the station or charged. I was let go. But at the end of the day, like just being in that situation, especially when you're not knowing like of what's going on here. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like I was there and the cops did what they had to do, So I complied. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I'm being handcuffed. But I'm not gonna sit there and resist or fight or do anything like that or play around or not give keys if they ask me for the matter of fact. In my situation, the cops actually tossed me the keys. So like yeah, that was good. Because I complied. You know what complying did? It got my ass unbooked and tossed the keys. Sometimes complying works, sometimes it doesn't. It's like a almond joy and mounds. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we're glad that he's safe. I think that's what's most important, right? Now let's talk about how this may affect the 49ers. Now, some people feel like it's going to affect the Niners. Some people feel like it's not going to affect the Niners. I was just looking at some of the comments that are popping up. And whether it affects the team positively or negatively, that's to be determined. Again, the team has put out statement per Matt Mayoko, so they're just waiting on more details and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens with the court date and all that type of stuff to see if there's going to be any form of, I don't want to use the word punishment, but what's another word for punishment? But see if there's any form of punishment from the team. As far as the NFL is concerned, looking at it from a grand scheme of things, I mean, this is nothing, right? This is a super misdemeanor. I mean, he didn't do anything but not comply, right? So, like, the NFL can't suspend Deommodore Lenoir. I mean, they can. They can suspend them, but why would they? Like, and so you know what it is for me? I'm always looking for the worst case scenario out of everything. I'm hella optimistic, but I always look for the worst case scenario in situations. And in this situation, I feel like the NFL, because what Tanisha said at the very beginning of this show, the Niners got the eagle eye on them and everything's got to be done by the book. And I just feel like the NFL will use the San Francisco 49ers to make a statement and bada boom, bada bang. And we could sit there and say, oh, we've seen players do worse. We sure have. But guess what team they don't play for? For some reason, I feel like the NFL, and I'm not wishing upon a star. I'm hoping the NFL looks at this, laughs, and throws it away. But at the end of the day, I'm not saying it'll be suspended, maybe fined. But even that, come on, man. You got to find the kid for not tossing the cop keys? Come on, man. What kind of crap is that? To me, that right there is what I call bull. Like, straight up. But NFL is the NFL. And let's just say if the NFL does suspend him, how many games do you think the NFL and you know what? I take that back. I digress from that question. Let's ask a different question. Because this is how gangster the NFL is. And I say gangster, not gangster. I say gangster. I want to make sure I'm applying it to everybody. This is what I feel like the NFL is going to do. They're going to go to the 49ers, right? And they're going to tell the 49ers, you know what? You handle this situation. And the Niners are going to be like, okay, cool. Hey, man, we just not going to pay you to practice, man. We're going to find you practice checks or something like that, right? And the NFL, then they're going to get involved and be like, nah, that ain't enough. I'm like, bro, you told us what to do. You told us to handle it. I feel like the NFL hates the San Francisco 49ers. And from that, Deommodore Lenoir is going to take the blunt of whatever the wrath of the NFL is going to be in light of or in lieu of the San Francisco 49ers. Me personally, shouldn't be anything. He didn't get charged with anything, and if he does, it's going to be a misdemeanor. And what's going to be the misdemeanor charge? Breach of peace? Breach of peace? I don't know. Breach of peace. At the end of that, repercussions is the word I was looking for too. Breach of peace. That's it. That's it. And here's what's going to happen. Now, I tell you what. Deommodore Lenoir, is he famous enough for the officer to even like show up to court on the court day? I'm going no. This is the one time Deommodore Lenoir should hope he's not famous, because then the officer's not going to show up, and then the judge's going to just throw the junk out and be like, yeah, man, we're going to fine you $1,000 or $100 or whatever like that, and, that's it. But who knows? Who knows what may happen? It's going to be fun to kind of like see how the eagle eye is scoping on the San Francisco 49ers as this continues to ramp up. Me personally, just misdemeanor, no charge, promise to appear in court, pay the fine, keep it moving. Shouldn't be anything from the NFL. And if the team, maybe the team's punishment can be just not electing him to be a team captain. If I'm Demo, I'll be like, cool. I ain't gonna be captain no way. You know what I mean? I'll be a captain by example. You ain't got to put the C on my chest, even though I really felt like he was earning the C on his chest. Now, he still may be captain. You know what I mean? He still may be captain, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens with the Demo situation. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Let me know your thoughts, though. If you guys got any questions, feel free. We could talk. My man Don't Bother Me says, Wayne, what are your thoughts on Kittle kicking it with Taylor Swift? Do the Niners get more publicity? I mean, nah. Man, look, that's Travis Kelce's boo. I think all the publicity went to building up that Kansas City fan base. Listen, let me just say this. And this is not an arguable situation. The San Francisco 49ers have the best damn fan base in the world. Hands down. Hands down. Hands down. Better than the Patriots. Maybe the Steelers fan base. Not even the Cowboys fan base is as great as the 49ers fan base. Maybe the Steelers. Because the Steelers still got a lot of old people that still rock hard, pause, for their team. But I just feel like the 49ers fan base is just it's so great and mean at the same time. Like, it's really good and it's really bad at the same time. It's very bipolar. And with the Steelers, they're just, Steelers fan base is just like hella supportive regardless. And then every other team's fan base just lets you know, like, our team is trash. You know what I mean? But I feel like the Niners fan base is just one of the greatest fan bases of all times and of all sports. Maybe up there kind of like with the Yankees, the Lakers, the Celtics, kind of like, because of that era where they were just so great. But you still get that era of fans and with the new age fans and things like that. So I just feel like the Niners fan base is too great. I feel like the Kansas City fan base needed a boost, and that's why they used Taylor Swift. I know y'all were probably like, where the hell is he going with this? Taylor Swift was the boost for KC. I don't think she helps boost. We don't need no damn boost. That's what I'm trying to say. We don't need no damn boost. You know what I mean? But I appreciate that question. You know what I'm saying? Definitely appreciate the question. 49ers, we definitely, the faithful, going into this upcoming season. I mean, our expectations, I'm going to do some shows on our expectations and stuff like that, but our expectations are set pretty high. I mean, the bar is there, I think I'd rather not have made it to the Super Bowl than made it to the Super Bowl and lost. That's just me, though. You don't have to agree with me. I'll go out on a limb by myself with that one, because losing sticks. Losing that game, that sticks. It sticks to the ribs. Not making it to the Super Bowl is like, all right, we just didn't make it. We weren't good enough. But you were good enough to make it. You were good enough to be the best in your conference, to have the situations be the situations and lose 2 games in the fourth quarter up by double-digit points. That's tough. That's tough. That's tough to overcome. And so I feel like the Niners going into this season with if I had to rate the drama for the 49ers this year, it is minimal to the stuff that we've seen. Like super minimal. Like, I mean, the contract drama alone superseded everything. Like, even the Demo little misdemeanor arrest, like this is nothing compared to stuff we've seen, it's still drama, but it's not. It's, it's like the 30-minute soap opera opposed to the hour-long soap opera, right? Like, that's kind of like what it is. But going into this season, I just feel like the weight of the shoulders has been lifted. I don't think that there's a heavy burden on the San Francisco 49ers. Now, maybe the coach has a heavy burden because Kyle Shanahan couldn't figure out how to get his team to finish 2 games. But when you go back and you look to what this team has done this offseason, they've addressed several key components to make sure that they can find ways to finish. And I think the only question mark with the San Francisco 49ers going into this season is how well will this defense be? You know what I mean? I think that's the only question. Only question. How well will the defense be? You know who the defensive coordinator is. You know they've made improvements there. But, man, the defense got depleted, and it is young as hell. And the question is, will this young core be what this team needed to finish games? Oh, that's another show. And so that's, to me, one of the biggest caveats. And I feel like they went younger for several reasons, right? Health being the main reason. We need young guys that can just be healthy, fly to the moon off the football. Like, as soon as the football snap, just go after it. But they still got to understand their assignments. That's why I think they addressed the defensive line heavily in the draft. And it's just the defense, period. Like, I felt like they went heavy on the D. Pause. And that right there, to me, is letting me know that, how well will Robert Saleh be able to coach up some of these young players? And so that's the question mark, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think if Saleh uses a mixture of his coaching style, his coaches, and the veterans that he still has, and let's not act like we just got vets. Let's not act like we just got vets. Now, we got, like, all-pro vets. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all-pro vets. Like, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa. Like, these are all pros. I don't care what people say about Deommodore Lenoir. He should be an all-pro DB. And this is the season. This is the season. He continues to not give up touchdowns, he'll be an all-pro for sure. Because that's what I consider a lockdown corner. Yeah, I just dropped the ball. I just did. All right, my man Oscar says, what are your thoughts on the bums ring culture? So, he's chasing another ring? Is that what we're talking about? I mean, hey, man, that dude, if he still has the will to win, I'm with it. I support it, man. Winning is cool. And he's still playing like that's crazy. Maybe it won't be with the Lakers. If you're a Lakers fan, maybe LeBron will be out. You know what I mean? Maybe he will. Throwback says week 1 is going to be a battle. And tell me why Collins hasn't signed. So apparently he's still not the only second-round draft pick that hasn't signed. So it's something about these second-round draft picks, right? Now, what I've read is that they are looking to get guarantees as if they are a first-round draft pick, right? Like, that's what I'm reading, right? And so, man, it's going to be a minute. It's going to be a minute. But he will be signed. He will be signed for sure. But it's about these second-round picks getting guaranteed, fully guaranteed contracts. Not just some guarantee, but fully guaranteed contracts. I think the game is changing. And the second-round picks want to be fully guaranteed. They don't make as much money, but they want the money that they make fully guaranteed. Is that going to prevent him from signing his contract? Yeah, I mean, that's what's happening. But it's also doing it for other second-round picks across the NFL. So it's not just big Alfred Collins, who this team is going to love. We finally have a mountain up front on the defensive line. Like, finally. Bearing health, obviously. But training camp, we're supposed to be getting everybody back. So, we'll have a lot of stuff to talk about. Man, you guys have been great, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you to all the members of the show. I hope I got to your questions as well. We definitely will be back next Monday after the 4th of July. I will try to do a show on the 4th. just to celebrate the holiday and our independence from England, right? So, but I do have to work that day, so I'll see how it all pans out. I might be able to get up here a little bit earlier. Make sure you tell a friend about the Wayne Breezie Show. Also, please do not forget to like this joint. Feel free to leave some comments in the show as well. Subscribe to the channel, man. If it's your first time watching, if YouTube is still doing their thing and pushing me to the forefront, appreciate you, YouTube. But make sure you guys go ahead and click on that subscribe. Feel free to become a member of the Breezy Bunch crew. You can also follow me on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and Facebook, all right, for information and news and all that stuff about your favorite 49ers. I will look to Friday if we do the show. Friday is going to be a call-in show. So that means you're going to be able to get your take off about the 49ers. So get ready for that. If we don't do it this upcoming Friday, it will be this upcoming Monday for sure. All right. Love you guys. Keep it faithful to the Bay always, man. And listen, it's hot as hell outside. So make sure you guys are dressed appropriately and stay cool. I don't know where you are, but stay cool. Love y'all. We'll be back next week. Peace.
What's up, faithful? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and make sure you check out some of the other cool videos.